Welcome to The Author's Journey with #1 international best-selling author and in-demand publisher, Rebecca Hall Greider. Today, we'll showcase the works of an amazing best-selling author, find out the story behind their book, and explore ways to bring your message powerfully forward. Now, here's your host, Rebecca Hall Greider.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Honored to connect in with you on the Author's Journey, where we talk to amazing best-selling authors from a wide range of backgrounds and experiences, but they have all gone on the journey of bringing their book forward and having it become a bestseller. So on the show, we get to pick their brain. We get to learn from them, their amazing area of expertise, and really what the journey is like to bring your book forward, to have that level of impact, and what helped them bring the book forward from an idea and a concept to reality, to having it in people's hands and hearts. So I'm honored to have you joining us. We have an amazing guest today who I know you're going to enjoy. You will love her spirit, her enthusiasm, and her passion for all that she does. And in order to get the most out of our time together today, I want to encourage you to choose to be present, fully present. Give us the opportunity to pour into you, and you get to receive. In fact, I encourage you to get a piece of paper and a writing utensil so that as you get those downloads, those insights, oh, that would help me bring something forward, write it down, capture it real time. Thoughts and ideas and insights move very, very quickly. And it's so easy in the moment to, oh, yes, I'm going to remember that and do that. And then we get caught up in life and the next thing and the next shiny object, and we can forget that powerful insight. So I encourage you to write it down, capture those moments. Be present, open to receive. This is a time you get to be and receive. Beautiful. Let's take a breath. And as we connect in, I encourage you just to feel in to what it is that you need today on your heart and on your spirit as you are looking at bringing your book, your message, your wisdom forward. What is being laid and spoken to your heart? What's being laid on your heart? What is calling forth to bring forward? And what are you willing to receive to support you on your journey? Just feel in, take some breaths, bring in that beautiful oxygen, and breathe out. Release what no longer serves. And just write down some insights that are coming to you. Beautiful. Let's take a moment. Another breath and open your eyes, fully present. I find sometimes when we're feeling in, we close our eyes and we become very still. So I just want to make sure we're back present, fully open, ready to receive. And we have that paper ready, your writing utensil ready, so you can capture whatever will serve and support you on your journey. Beautiful. It's my honor and privilege to introduce our amazing guest, Sheryl Glick. She is a certified Reiki master teacher, energy healer, and spiritual medium, a radio show host who has interviewed over 700 authors and leading change makers of the world. She is a #1 international best-selling author and a hospice volunteer. She is passionate about helping you know that a universal force of creative energy supports us, loves us, and helps us. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful, dynamic, and amazing expert, Sheryl Glick, to the show. Welcome.
Hello, Rebecca, and thank you for having me on your show. It's been a little while since we've spoken, and I'm delighted to be here with you.
Well, I am thrilled and excited to have you here with me, and what an opportunity to connect in, because it has been a little while. It's nice to connect in and get an opportunity to catch up a little bit. I'm looking forward to your insight and to having you on the show today, and it's always a pleasure to be able to connect in with you and be in your space and energy.
Yes, that's true. We do feel comfortable in certain people's energy more than others, and that's
True.
fine. We're all on a spiritual journey, but some people help us more on our path, and they find people to help them on theirs. Everything is as it should be, and we are meeting the people and healing and being healed by people who we're supposed to meet.
Yes, I love that. And that reminder that to trust that and know that it is true. And
yes, we forget it sometimes. That's true.
Yeah, and kind of rest in that. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about why the work that you do, so helping people in this space of energy and healing, and all that you have done in writing and you have done in your interviews. You do so much work to lift people up, to bring information to the world. Why is all of that so personally important to you?
Well, I began as a sensitive child, a gifted child. In gifted classes, I always accelerated, and I was in college at 16 and out of college by 19, and I only wanted to help people be happier, because I didn't know at that time that I was an empath. And I was picking up other people's feelings and emotions and fears and joys. And very often, I didn't feel so good. And I thought it was me, because it was the fact that there's energy everywhere, in every location, and with every word and thought that people express. And I just wanted to share the goodness and love within my heart and soul, that in those days I couldn't express that way, but it was my journey, it was my destiny and life plan to bring these messages into the world. And it took a while for me to figure out what was really happening, who I really was as a spiritual being having a physical life. So there were many traumas along the way, and events that I couldn't quite understand when I was younger. But then, about 25 years ago, I had a dream. I was very sick with the flu, and my grandfather was standing to my right side, and he was trying to give me a message, but I couldn't hear him like I hear you. It was just a thought that flew through my mind in my sleep, or whatever state I was in at the moment. And he said, you have to write something for your father. And I had no idea what it meant. And the next day I got a call from my mother that my father had passed, and I wrote his eulogy as I had been directed to do, but I didn't put it together even then, that my grandfather's spirit had visited me and knew I would be very, very sad at the loss of my father. And so he gave me something constructive to do that would help me to express my feelings and thoughts and become clear about who I was and what I was ultimately going to do. I wasn't only going to write his eulogy. I was going to write a trilogy of books for spirit, or for our Father in heaven, not only my earth father. And it began 25 years ago.
Thank you for sharing that. The kind of the start and the shift of that, and having that gifting at such a young age, and being able to pick up on all of those emotions and feelings around you, and wanting to make that different, wanting to make that positive, wanting to help others. And your grandfather coming as this was unfolding, your father was passing, giving you something powerful and positive, constructive that you could do. So thank you so much for sharing. And I know that has led to so many of the things that you do today. We are getting ready to go to our first commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I want you to think about what are some of those seeds that have been planted in your life. I find frequently if we look back, we can start to see some of those seeds that were planted long ago, and we have a different perspective than we did back then. We can sometimes understand things looking back a bit, and that can help give us direction as we start to look forward and look at bringing forward those things we're called to bring forward. So we'll look forward to continuing our conversation in just a moment.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Stimulating talk
gets those synapses in the brain firing really fast.
All the time. The number one internet talk station where your opinion counts. VoiceAmerica.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that moment, that opportunity to really feel in. Look at those seeds that have been planted in your life. And have you watered them? Have you let them grow? What are they becoming? What's speaking to you? What's being called forth at such a time as this? And how are you, as a messenger, as an expert, choosing to respond to that calling? Is it in writing, speaking, a way of being? How are you responding to the call, to those things that are being placed into your heart and spirit? As we continue our conversation with Sheryl, I'm really excited to have her share how she's responded and some of the ways that she's been able to bring her messages forward, her willingness to serve and to support others, and some of the ways that that's translated. And one of the ways is in a powerful book she brought forward called A New Life Awaits, which became a #1 international best-selling book, reaching 12 best-selling categories, 4 of them #1, and reached that #1 international best-selling status that we always go for in doing a release and a launch. So it was powerfully received around the world and has been impacting people's lives. And so, Sheryl, I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about your book, A New Life Awaits, and what was the inspiration for it? Why did you feel called to bring it forward and to bring it forward in a written format?
Well, it's interesting, but I wrote 2 books before A New Life Awaits. 20 years ago, I had my first session with a medium. A medium is someone who is highly sensitive to energy and is actually picking up information from the universe or from souls or from angels or guides or teachers. And she said to me that I would write 3 books. And I said, I don't think so. It wasn't on my radar yet. But shortly, it didn't take long before I started to meet people. I had questions about who we were. I was a skeptic. I didn't believe in an afterlife. I believed you lived a good life and you gathered memories and you shared them with others. And when you left this earth, other people remembered you for the good you had done. That's how I was brought up. But a part of me believed there was more. And I, in college, studied philosophy, science, education, literature. I was looking for the answer. And then I started to have metaphysical experiences. And I realized there is an afterlife. We are more than our physical bodies. We are more than this human experience. And we are eternal energy forces. And I decided then I would journal all the incidents that happened, all the coincidences, all the thousands of people I met. I traveled worldwide. I studied with many teachers. I became a healer, a hands-on healer, Reiki practitioner, and a medium. And I used those skills to help many people reconnect to their own energy and to know beyond doubt who they were. Because I wasn't a skeptic anymore. I knew the truth, and I wanted to share the truth with as many people as I could. And actually, the third book, I waited a while after my second book. The third book, A New Life Awaits, was generated out of the trouble I started to see in the world, economically, politically, socially. And I was becoming aware that people were disconnected from their spiritual sense. And they had to get that connection back. They had to understand they were more than physical. They were energetic. And their spirit life had to be reconnected, or they couldn't enjoy this physical world the way they were meant to. Life is a beautiful journey. And when you have the tools and the wisdom, you can let go of a lot of the fears and limitations of your childhood and societal training, much of which is ego-based and an illusion and wrong, because within your heart and soul or spirit is the real life and the real answers to why you decided to come to Earth and have this physical life in the first place. Every one of us has a mission, a goal. Yes. Every one of us.
Well, and I love that you, after that second book, as you were leaning into your third book, you felt that pulling, that calling to help people reconnect with their spiritual side and their soul in a positive way. Was there a moment that, as you were noticing that and feeling that you're like, I need to bring the third book forward. This is the time. This is when, and what I need to call it. Was there a moment in there that helped you shift from collecting and noticing to taking the action to bring it forward?
Well, I think I was aware of all the political dissension. I was aware that we were being brought down instead of allowed to rise in our awareness. I knew we were in trouble. I knew America was in trouble. And so the book has many, many stories, very hopeful stories.
Beautiful. And do you mind sharing just an example of one of the stories in the book, just to give our listeners a feel and flavor?
Well, there is something I do want to share. Let me open the book. One of my guests on my show was Dr. Ruth Anderson. And she told me that Archangel Michael was part of 500 light beings on the planet who were bringing help. And I did a reading, and the reading went like this. A march across the valley through mountains, side by side, row after row, endless power and discipline to walk the world as the Jewish people walk through the Red Sea and desert to find God. We will help you triumph in light and be free. We begin with the children and lift them up to hold their own sense of goodness and help the elders be more aligned to their own innocence. We will fan and cool the rage and anger with miracles. The pain of relationship will be given up for more interactive processes, and we will insist on equality. people, men and women, black, brown, and white, Jewish, Christian, or Islam. We will insist on allowing groups to meet and find common ground. It is not a request, but a divine decree. And that was the message.
Thank you for sharing. So powerful. And I love your willingness and desire to be led and to share information that can serve, uplift, unite, and encourage us in our walk. I just so appreciate that. And for those of you who are interested in adding A New Life Awaits to your library, you can find it on Amazon. So it is available there, A New Life Awaits by Sheryl Glick. And as we're talking, Sheryl, I know there is a special story about the cover of A New Life Awaits.
And the cover.
I think the cover is so interesting to talk about.
You know the story of the cover and how hard it was to get it on the book, but it had to be on the book.
Mm-hmm. So do you mind sharing with our listeners?
The story of the cover. Mm-hmm. I was at a wedding with family members, and my cousin had just lost her husband 8 months before, and she said to me, "Do you think he's here with me?" And I said, "Our whole family's here. You see, spirit and heaven are not far away. We're all in the same energy, the past, the present, and the future. Life in a body and life out of a body." So I said, "Of course he's here. I'll try to get a message." And I closed my eyes, and I tried hard to get a message, but there was too much noise, too many people, too much energy. So I wasn't able to. And then in a few minutes, I said, "Oh, let's get all the cousins together, and we'll take a picture." So we took a picture with my cell phone. And when I looked at the picture, I saw in the window above, behind us, this beautiful light form. And it wasn't a reflection of light because it was dark. Mm-hmm. There was nothing behind this window. You know, sometimes people might say it's from the light. Mm-hmm. Well, it was nighttime, and there was no light. Mm. And I showed all my cousins, and then I made pictures for all of them, and I sent them each a copy of the picture of all of us. Mm. But I knew that I had asked Spirit to show me a sign for my cousin to alleviate her suffering, and that's what they did. Mm. Whether that was a light being, an angel, whether it was one of our relatives in the light, it really didn't matter. I asked, and there it was. Mm. And many people have got to learn that we are helped. We are never alone. There's spirit around us all the time, but you must ask. You must allow yourself to receive help. So many people think they have to do it themselves. I was one of those people, by the way. Mm. I never asked for help. I always thought, how rude would it be for me to ask God for a red bicycle? Mm. You know, when I was a kid, that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was assuming. Yeah.
I have to work hard, and maybe I'll get it. And, you know, I was not brought up to ask for help. I was brought up to be very independent, very productive, to be sort of perfect. Now, you and I know there's no perfection. It's not necessary or possible. Mm-mm. Perfection is in the imperfection, or the need to make change and to allow things to unfold the way they will. And that is perfection. And perfection is love, allowing that to change also, because nothing stays the same. Mm. So I am so proud to have been able to have that cover of the book. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anyone looking at it sees what I feel and see, but some people might. You know,
I love the energy of it. And to me, I know the team worked to really capture the energy and bring that picture, that moment forward, and tie it into the title, A New Life Awaits. And I think they captured it beautifully.
I like the texture of the book, and I like the showing the universe, the sky, the little stars, and knowing, for me, A New Life Awaits is every day. Every day when I wake up and I say I am in a fit and healthy body and I'm going forward to enjoy the experience that Spirit presents for me and the people that I meet, and whatever event, I will not judge it as good or bad, just experience. And I'm just grateful to be alive, to be honest. When I was younger, perhaps I wasn't so grateful to be alive because everything was seen as hard or fearful, because that's how I was raised. But once I passed that and knew everything is just as it is, not good or bad, not a trauma, just a challenge sometimes to help our soul in be empowered with new energy, new awareness, new wisdom, new love, new compassion. I'm just grateful for every day and every moment. And every moment is a new life, a new chance to see things in a new way.
I love that. It's such an important reminder. Every day is a new day. Every breath, we have this opportunity, and we can be grateful.
And there really is a new life beyond here also. So it's two new lives we have. Here physically and there.
Perfect.
I love the title, too.
Yes.
I do love the title.
It's such a good title. I love it as well. Well, we're getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I want you to think about all that Sheryl has shared and what is being laid on your heart and your spirit. And perhaps there is a book you're looking to bring forward, and what sort of cover would capture that message, that feeling, that energy that you're wanting to convey, that you're wanting to remind people of. Your title, how is that tying in to your messaging? And are you taking steps to bring it forward and honor that pull, that call to have it received, to have it touch people's hearts and lives? So we will be continuing our conversation in just a moment.
Voice America is on your favorite smart speaker. If you have Alexa or Google Home, go ahead and give us a try.
Hey Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast on TuneIn.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
The Internet's #1 talk station. #1 talk station. VoiceAmerica.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that moment to really check in and see what is speaking to your heart, to your spirit. What are you looking to bring forward in your journey? What message is pulling at you that is now the time to share, to bring it forward? And what ways can you bring it forward? I asked Sheryl behind the scenes if she had a final tip or reminder, something on her heart that she wanted to share with you. And she said, yeah, she can share. So I'm going to have her do that in a moment. And before that, I want to make sure you have contact information. So for those of you who want to get a copy of her book or any of her books, want to connect in, I want you to know how to do that so you can follow that connection. So with that, Sheryl, what is the best way for people to connect in with you?
Well, they can go to my website, SherylGlick.com. Sheryl is with an S, S-H-E-R-Y-L, Glick, G-L-I-C-K.com. They can email me at SherylGlick.com. They can go to Facebook and Twitter at Sheryl Glick. And a tip or two that I would like to give our readers today to help them step forward in their life powerfully, boldly, fearlessly, is to begin to observe and self-investigate your words, your actions, and your fears so that you may make changes to correct anything that's holding you back from being truly productive, happy, and joyful, because that's your soul's right. And you need to pay attention because every word and action and fear is an energy, and it can be changed. And then I want you to take personal responsibility for your thoughts and behaviors and attitudes. Ask for forgiveness for yourself when you feel you've done something not right, and for others if necessary. And then wake up every day with gratitude for your life and the opportunity to share goodwill and your spiritual talents into the world, because that brings joy to you and it brings light and love to others. And everybody needs that. They need to feel loved and accepted and honored and respected. So you can do that. You can do all of that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I love that reminder to forgive ourselves and be kind and supportive to ourselves as well.
Yes.
So important to remember.
People forget that.
They do. They do. So thank you for that reminder. So powerful. And they can get your books on Amazon. Is that true?
Yes. They can go to Amazon.com and get any of my three books.
Perfect.
Life is no coincidence, and they can get The Living Spirit or A New Life Awaits, because they show different things. One's about awakening, one's about transformation, and A New Life Awaits is about transition. Transition your energy from one phase to another phase of eternal life.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you spending time with us today, sharing with us so deeply and powerfully. And listeners, I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope that this episode of The Author's Journey has been supportive of you, that it is encouraging and uplifting you on your journey, that you are looking for ways to bring your message forward, to bring your wisdom and content forward so that it can serve and have the impact it's called to have, serve those who's called to serve, as well as remembering to support yourself on the journey too. It's so important. So we have shared Sheryl's contact information. I encourage you to lean in, connect with her. I wanted to make sure you had ours as well. So if you ever want to have a deeper conversation, you can always go to my website, yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Again, that's yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. And there's a box you can click to set up a time to talk if you would like that support. We're always happy to be a resource to support you on your journey, because you are absolutely needed. Your message is being called forth. And I want to encourage you to take those steps to bring your message, your book, your wisdom, your information forward today, not someday. It's needed now. Have an amazing week, everyone, and I look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to The Author's Journey. Please join Rebecca Hall Greider for another edition of the Author's Journey podcast every Monday on the Voice America Variety Channel. And until we talk again, use some of the tips and inspiration from today's show to guide you as you lean in to bringing your message forward.